Here on the last Monday of January 2024. Crazy that we're already winding down the first month of the new year. So, hey, what I want to talk about today here on Mindset Monday is, well, about mindset. Hence the why I call it Mindset Monday. And we all know we talk about, being more positive, right? Being more optimistic, how much better that changes our life. Now, what I want to share with you today is that how it can really change your life from a health standpoint. There was several studies that were done that, and one of those was pretty impressive. That they did a study of 230,000 people. Okay, and what they found is that people that were more optimistic or had a more positive outlook, right, on life, those people were 35% less to have cardiovascular disease, to have a stroke, actually, and actually die of some kind of cardiac issue. Also, this study went on to show that people that were more positive, right, were more optimistic, also lived 15% longer than those that had a negative mindset, right, that were more pessimistic. And so, uh, we all know this, and we all, we know that it's like, hey, having a positive mindset, doing these things is going to be much better, for us. Now we've got some health reasons of why we want to obviously to start being more mindful, right, around how we're thinking. And so just a couple of things, just want to share with you, around that, because people are like going, all right, how can I be more positive? How can I have more of a positive mindset? A couple of things, and I'll just share with kind of what I do, and things that I've seen in research is like, for me, is one is coming from a place of gratitude, right? Is being grateful every single day. I have a journal. It is right here, as a matter of fact. And so that I journal in every day. And one of the things on the top of this is things that I am grateful for. And I basically list 5 things each day that I'm grateful for, right? And there's a good thing is like when we're showing gratitude, is a key piece. The other thing of it is that it's also being careful what we let into our mind, right? What are we watching? What are we listening to? If you're listening to 24-hour news, bad, negative things, because what I find is that there's really nothing good in the news, because the news really isn't the news. And that could be a whole other Mindset Monday. But being really careful of guarding what's going into what we're seeing, what we're listening to, because that bleeds over to how we start to think. It's also then, who are we associating ourselves with? Who are our people in our sphere? Are we hanging out and spending time with, well, negative people that are always looking at like, oh, the bad and the negative? And don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying is like, that we live in this Pollyanna world where it's like, oh, it's all rainbows and puppies and sunshine, right? I get it. There are bad things that happen, but the issue of it is that how do we find the good in things? How do we come from a place of solution versus being negative that's not going to work? And so, and being around people that think like that, what happens is we start to act that way. It's always funny as we grow up and, our parents are just kind of like, I don't want you hanging around those kids, right? Why? It's because what our parents understood, though we didn't believe it as a kid, is that we didn't want those traits of those kids rubbing off on us, and they would see that. And it's true, and it's no different with us. Is who are you spending time with? Are those people lifting you up? Are those people positive? Are they sharing the same values that you are? And be careful of that. So you want to be surrounding yourself. The books you read, the things that you watch. This is why I do Mindset Monday is because there's a lot of things on Facebook and on social media that aren't so positive. And so what I've looked at and started doing this now, I think going on now 8 years of doing this, each Monday, is a way just to share something positive that we can take and use in our life. And for me, when I originally started it, it was really just a way for me to share. And then also am I living it? So as I share with you, and you always hear me this, as I challenge you, I'm always challenging myself. How is my thinking? Am I coming from a place of positivity? Right? And solution, and we can drift, and we have to be careful. This is why we have to be so in control of our thinking, because of it's where our mind will go. I got this from Craig Rochelle. Is he says, your life moves in the direction of your strongest thoughts. And it's true, good or bad. If we've got negative thoughts, we can go that direction. That's why we want to make sure that, hey, are we focusing on what's positive? Are we the good? Are we grateful? All of those things. And so I would just encourage you is again, as we're finishing up, the first month of a new year, as we start talking about our goals and what that's looking at is, hey, how is my thinking? Am I on the right track with my thinking? Or do I need to make a shift of like, hey, I need to watch less news. I need to maybe spend less time with a certain person or certain people, right? And start spending more time in doing those things that are going to be, that are going to be positive, not just for my whole attitude, but things that I just shared with you for my health as well. So there's massive upside, not a lot of downside to being positive and coming from a place of being optimistic. So that's what I've got for you today in today's Mindset Monday. As always, hey, thank you for being part of my community. Go out, finish January strong. That way we're rolling into February strong. Make sure that you're focused on your goals and how you can be more positive going into February. And I'll see everybody